They told us the era of energy wars was over. They said the global economy was too connected, too resilient to ever see a 1970s-style collapse again. But as I stand here today, the world's most important energy artery, the Strait of Hormuz, is effectively a ghost town. For the first time in history, we aren't just looking at a price hike. We're looking at the biggest ever disruption to the global oil market. Over the last few days, oil prices haven't just climbed, they've exploded, surging past $115 a barrel. And for you, at home in the US, this isn't just a headline on the news. It's the extra $40 it costs to fill your truck this morning. It's the fuel surcharge appearing on your grocery delivery. It's the sudden, cold realization that when the world's oil stops moving, the world's economy stops breathing. I'm Dishku, and today we're moving past the politics and the propaganda. We're looking at the cold, hard math of how this Iran war is changing your financial future and what you need to do right now to protect your family's bottom line. Part 2. The Choke Point and the $150 Nightmare. To understand why your local gas station in Ohio or Florida just jacked up prices by 50 cents in 72 hours, you have to look at a tiny strip of water thousands of miles away. The Strait of Hormuz is only 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, but 20% of the entire world's oil passes through it every single day. Right now, that gate is slammed shut. Between Iranian sea mines, drone threats, and the sheer intensity of the conflict involving the US and Israel, tankers are simply refusing to move. Imagine 15 million barrels of oil every single day just stopping. This is what experts call a structural risk. Normally, if one country stops producing, another steps in. But when the exit is blocked, it doesn't matter how much oil Saudi Arabia or Kuwait has in the ground, they can't get it to you. This has created a vacuum. In early March, we saw Brent crude, the global benchmark, trade around $92. Within days of the escalation, it touched $119. We haven't seen a vertical move like this since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. But here's the scary part. Analysts from Goldman Sachs and Macquarie are warning that if this blockade lasts for more than a few weeks, we are staring down the barrel of $150 oil. Why does $150 matter? Because at that price, the math of everyday life breaks. In the US, we've already seen the national average for gas hit $3.45, with California drivers already staring at $5.34. If oil hits $150, we aren't talking about expensive gas. We're talking about $6 or $7 a gallon nationwide. And it isn't just about the pump. Diesel has jumped 28% since this war started. Diesel is what moves the food to your table. When the cost of moving a truck increases by 30%, the price of the milk, bread, and eggs inside that truck has to go up. We're looking at a renewed inflation shock that could wipe out all the progress the Fed made over the last year. For you, the viewer, this means that the cost of living isn't just a phrase anymore, it's a daily battle. Now, I want to give you some perspective, because panic is never a strategy. Is the US in trouble? Yes, but are we in the same boat as Europe or Asia? Not quite. The US is currently the world's largest crude oil producer, pumping nearly 13.6 million barrels a day. This is our energy shield. Because we produce so much of our own energy, we are partially insulated from the total chaos happening in the Gulf. This is why, while global markets are panicking, U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright and even President Trump have suggested this spike might be temporary. But temporary is a relative term when you're living paycheck to paycheck. The reality is that oil is a global commodity. Even if we produce our own oil, the price is set by the world market. If the world is starving for oil, they will pay more for ours, which drives our prices up anyway. We've seen some wild swings. One day, Trump says the war is very complete and prices tumble back toward $90. The next day, threats of unconditional surrender and hitting Iran 20 times harder send them screaming back over $100. This volatility is a nightmare for the stock market. If you have a 401k or a brokerage account, you've felt the sting. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq have been under heavy selling pressure. Why? Because investors hate uncertainty. If a company like Amazon or Walmart has to pay 30% more for shipping, their profits drop. When profits drop, stock prices drop. For my real estate followers, this is the double whammy. Higher oil prices lead to higher inflation. Higher inflation means the Federal Reserve cannot cut interest rates. In fact, they might have to raise them again to keep the economy from overheating. This means mortgage rates, which we all hoped would stay down, could remain stubbornly high. If you were waiting to buy a home or refinance, this war just moved the goalposts. So what do? We can't control the Strait of Hormuz, and we can't control the geopolitics of the Middle East, but we can control how we react. First, let's talk about practicality. If you are an everyday person watching this, your first priority is your cash flow. We are in a high volatility window. Now is the time to audit your transportation costs. Can you consolidate trips? Is it time to finally look at that hybrid or EV? For the first time in years, the payback period for fuel-efficient vehicles just got much shorter. Second, real estate. If you are a landlord or a homeowner, energy costs are about to become a major factor in property value. Homes with high-efficiency heating or solar are going to become much more attractive as utility bills spike. If you're looking to invest, look for markets that are energy proximate, areas like Texas, Louisiana, or North Dakota, where the local economy actually benefits from higher oil prices. Third, investing. Don't panic sell your entire portfolio. History shows that geopolitical shocks are usually sharp, painful, but ultimately temporary. If the U.S. can ramp up shale production, which experts say could add another 500,000 barrels a day if prices stay high, we could see a relief rally later this year. The silver lining, the U.S. economy is, as one economist put it, a $30 trillion beast. We are more resilient than we were in the 1970s. We use less energy per dollar of GDP than we used to. We have massive strategic reserves. This isn't the end of the world, it's a stress test. The winners in this market will be the people who don't let emotion drive their trades. They will be the people who see the inflation spike as a reason to hold hard assets like real estate, and who see the market dip as a potential buying opportunity for high-quality companies that can weather the storm. We're living through history. The biggest disruption ever isn't just a tragedy, it's a transformation of how we think about money and energy. Stay grounded, stay informed, and remember, the best investment you can make is in your own financial education. This crisis is moving fast.
Right now, as you watch this, something massive is quietly happening in the global financial system. The ultra-wealthy, the hedge funds, the big institutional players, they're moving their money, billions of dollars, and most everyday Americans have absolutely no idea it's happening. This shift, experts are calling it the global wealth rotation. And the direction? It looks like it might be going from Bitcoin to gold.
And I'll be here to break down every update. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and join the Dishku investing community. Comment below, how much is gas in your city today? Let's track this together. I'll see you in the next one.